Hello YouTube, what's going on? Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're all great. Hope you're all staying good, healthy, and being blessed. If you take a moment to notice what's going on in America, you're starting to see people wake up to their constitutional rights and their freedom. You got sheriff departments, police departments, and everybody that hate to be filmed and hate to be held accountable to the laws. They think they are above the laws. They think they are above the Constitution, above the people. You got Joe Biden signing this EO executive order deal about gun control and all that. He thinks he's God. Somebody's convinced him that he is God. Somebody has convinced him that he has the right to do whatever he wants, and here it is. Same thing with sheriff departments and ATF and everybody else, DEA and everybody else. All these unconstitutional agencies, services, if you ever notice, they have service or departments, words that says exactly what they are. They're branches of the government. You're starting to realize that the government is not for us, never was for us. All these things, they say Homeland Security. It's not about Homeland Security. It's about putting more agents on the streets. IRS trying to put more IRS people on the streets, on teaching them how to arrest people, teaching them how to do all this other stuff. So actuality, you see that the government is trying to grow and militarize itself. So actuality, you're sitting here watching the government doing everything they can to violate constitutional rights and freedom, but yet you're also seeing that they're trying to break our banks, break our farms. They're trying to disintegrate what is American. Everything American, they're trying to destroy it. Because the electric cars, they're trying to get away with the gas and diesel cars. They don't want you driving the old classic cars where they can't track them. Imagine that. They want you to have the tracking device in your car. They want you to have the government-controlled stopping devices or shutdown devices in your car. They want you to have all this computer-generated crap in your car or in your home. So actuality, if you're sitting here listening to it and you're watching it and you're taking a moment to notice, see, even I watched a video today which actually kind of blew my mind, that out of Las Vegas there's a airplane service that is by the government but not run by the government, owned by the government but not run by the government, which doesn't make sense. And it goes to Area 51. Imagine that. Area 51 is operated and controlled by the CIA. Why is it that the CIA name comes up in all terrorism, MS-13, Al-Qaeda, and all these different terrorist organizations? CIA trained a lot of these people that run those. Wow, imagine that. CIA is about the most corrupt part of the government there is. Actually, they have a black budget. They have a budget that is unseen and unfathomable. So, actuality, the CIA is the government's go-to, and then you got all these other agencies that we probably don't even know about. People talk about the men in black. Who are they? So, you got all these people that are running around and they're saying, we're part of the government. We're above your pay grade. We're above this. Why is it that the government needs so much control here in America, but yet they don't have any control overseas or any control? They want to control the borders here, but not control the borders elsewhere? Or they control the borders, sorry, I said that backwards. They want to control the borders elsewhere, but they don't want to control the borders here. So, actuality, you see this invasion on the Mexican border. I mean, there was, the other day, almost 10,000 people rushed the borders down there at El Paso. So actuality, you're seeing all this, and then you're seeing the police department and everybody else that's so focused on giving out revenue tickets and they're not focusing on crime, actual crime. They're so focused on violating people's rights to carry guns or violating people's rights to defend themselves or their homes, people's right to record and hold police accountable. You know, the First Amendment, if you read it, 5 parts to it, you better go study that. So you're seeing all this where even our governors are trying to stand up. A lot of them are trying to stand up against this. But yet you got the WHO, the World Health Organization, and UN and everybody else that's got two-thirds of our politicians in their pockets. And you're starting to see all this come to light. I think it's time that we start recognizing the truth and stop trying to tell all Americans that we got to back the blue blindly. We got to put on our blinders and, oh, they just killed and beat somebody. You know, no, we got to look at corruption knows exactly what it is. Corruption starts from base level all the way up to the top. That's to President Biden. So actuality, if we're going to expose corruption, we need to expose it all. So, let me tell you this. If you're only for exposing the billionaires and the politicians, but yet you don't want to expose law enforcement, you're not going to get nowhere. That'd be like trying to dig a hole without nothing shoring it up, nothing protecting of that hole collapsing in on you. That hole's going to eventually collapse in on you. So actuality, what would be the point of exposing corruption if you don't expose it all? So expose corruption in all levels. I mean, your local level, your town, your city, your county, your state. Start using those Freedom of Information Acts. You know, FOIA. Start learning how to use those. Start learning how to use your cameras and your phones and stuff to record police officers. Don't ever talk to government, ever. Because you don't need to talk to government. And there was a video the other day where CPS was trying to illegally take the kids out of a person's house, and they finally did get it done, and the guy still hasn't seen them in 9 months. So CPS kidnapped those kids illegally for this mother, supposedly. CPS is the biggest child trafficking. I mean, granted, they do some good work. Even the devil does some good work. But how many kids go missing in the foster care system every year because of CPS? How many kids wind up dead because of the foster care system that CPS puts them into these foster homes, and then they end up being... You're seeing this trans stuff going off the rails. They can identify as anything they want now. Identify. That means tomorrow I can identify as a freaking bird in the air if I think I can fly. I mean, if I say I identify as a bird and I jump off a building, you can't stop me because I identify as a bird. You know, it's just one of those things. You're starting to see the stupid and lunacy of this world. It's just ridiculous. Everything's starting to become ridiculous. And then also, here's the thing. You got so many people that are so blindly saying, no, if it's not on the news, then why ain't it on the news? Well, then let me tell you something. The news is owned by those people that are distorting the truth. The news is owned by those billionaires that are sitting there in the World Health Organization, World Economic Forums. That's who the news is owned by. Independent journalists, First Amendment auditors, constitutional auditors, and all that, even O'Keefe and everybody else, you know, James O'Keefe, thumbs up to him, they're all exposing all this corruption. We need these people to expose the corruption. We need you to go to your school board meetings, go to your town hall meetings, go to whatever, and file those Freedom of Information Acts. Get that paperwork, get the truth out there, get the truth known, because if it's not known, then we can't fight it. The only way to fight corruption is to know the truth. And the truth will set you free, and the truth will take them out of office, and it'll put them either in jail or unemployed. It is what it is. You need to record police officers, record your government. Never, like I'm going to say it again and again and again and again until people understand it. The only way to stop corruption is at local levels and work up to the top. You work at local levels, take it down, and you keep taking those blocks away, blocks of corruption away, and you start knocking it away. You let the big lawyers that are working on the top work at the top. You work local, and you work in your area. Take care of your area and take it down, because the people working up here are taken care of up here. You worry about yours. Protect your family, protect your friends, protect your constitutional rights, your liberties, and your freedom at local levels. Stand up and let your voice be known. For so long, we've been hearing the liberals out there screaming and shouting. We need to be screaming and shouting as patriots. We need to be screaming and shouting in God's name against this satanic BS that's going on in America. We need to be shouting and screaming, letting our voices be known. And this camera or tools, the cell phones or whatever, is tools on how the way to do it. Expose them for what they are. They're puppets. They're being controlled and manipulated. So expose them at all levels. Expose corruption at all levels. God bless. Be safe. 3 up. Have a good day, and in God we trust. Make America great.